From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge media production. Thank you so much for joining us. By us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, aka the Brown Python, Ben, aka Mexican Nostradamus, and yours truly, Benji, here for another fantastic episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebox for the music. And last episode, number 89, we broke the news. You could say that because we broke it. I mean, it was, for us, it was live as fuck. It was right before we started recording that Russia had indeed, after months of troops building up on the borders, they did invade, a full-scale invasion on the nation of Ukraine. And so now we are, what is this, about 4 or 5 days later?
Yeah, but what, 5?
So yeah, we're at day,
something like that, yeah.
Roughly something like that, day 5. Yep. A lot has fucking happened and transpired since we last spoke with you lovely people. So as it is right now, they have not captured Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, as it was predicted that it would fall fairly quickly. When they first rolled in, myself included, I thought, oh fuck, like this is going to be over pretty quickly. However, a lot has transpired. Now, obviously, they still have a lot more at their disposal, and this thing is not even close to being over. However, it is worth note that Ukraine has put up quite a defense for a number of reasons. And we'll get into a lot of this, but I do want to say, first of all and foremost, God bless the Ukrainian people in this difficult time. I think we all kind of, through one degree or another, know someone, or at least know someone who's affected by this, either has family over there, or whatever this case may be. This is really rough. This is a bad situation. But I have to say, the courage and the bravery displayed by the Ukrainian people is unmatched in anything I've seen, maybe in my lifetime. And I was very moved this week, I'll be honest, almost to tears by some of the things. Not to hog the mic here right out of the gate. I just wanted to note that, especially too, when was the last time you saw a president of a fucking country stay in the country, take up arms, and defend his fucking nation alongside his people? That shit fucking got to me, dude. Regardless of whatever happens here, I'm taking that shit away with me for the rest of my life. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that in the theater of war, at least in the times that we've existed. So anyway, that's a lot to say at the beginning, but I don't even know where to start with this. Ben, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I mean, there is so much that's happening right now, but yeah, I guess like might as well key off to the I guess you would say the monumental, the heroic nature of Zelensky, the president of Ukraine right now, and the way he's taking this whole situation and he's completely trying to handle it. I mean, like you said, he's staying in the city. He's posting pictures every morning after Russian bombardments, and just what seems to be this never-ending onslaught of Russian troops. I mean, right now there's a 40-mile supply route that's outside of Kyiv right now. That's all Russians. They know that this is happening. They feel that this is happening, and he's still fighting it. He has been imploring and directing international support. He has stayed strong. He's willed his people through his own actions, and just by being as inspiring as a human being can be in these type of times. So yeah, that guy is definitely, I mean, that's one thing I kind of threw up on social media myself is, would your leader do this?
No.
Oh,
would your leader be even able to do this? Right?
No.
I mean, there's no way. I can't think of a president, an American president, since maybe Truman, that would be able to do this. I can't think of another president.
Old.
No, right? No, but even Truman, right? He was a general. I mean, we haven't had a president that's been able to do this at all. I mean, if you tell me Trump, that's a dumb thing. We know Trump wouldn't do it. We know Biden wouldn't do it. Obama, he wasn't a wartime type president like
maybe
that.
Hunter or Eric or
No, I mean Washington.
Ivanka?
No, none of those fuckers. All those
maybe
fuckers.
Ivanka. Maybe
No.
Ivanka. I could
Maybe
say.
you mean
Ivanka. She'll
if
post
she's-
it to TikTok.
if
She got a
she's-
little bit of that Eastern European
Bro,
blood.
unless
fucking-
she's
That
sucking
is
them
true.
off. Unless she's sucking a bunch of soldiers off, I don't think so, bro. This is a real act of straight, like being like courageous beyond a normal point. Because see, any fight we get into in the United States, we know as a country we have a chance to win. This guy's doing it
No, it's
knowing
true.
he's going to lose.
That's a great point, dude.
He's got like, I mean, that's a whole different perspective. Like he's not, and I'm going to be very honest with everybody. Ukraine's not going to win.
no. No.
And the only way that they're going to win is they're going to have to amass substantial human losses. Because
it's
when,
not guaranteed.
and even right, we're talking about substantial human losses. And because that's the only thing that can maybe funnel the outrage to a point to where the rest of the world just says, fuck it, we're getting in this. But that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why Russia hasn't beaten Kiev is because they're not treating it like they did Afghanistan. Because there's thermobaric weapons that the Russians can use that are still part of international treaties. Air-to-fuel weapons are just almost as powerful as nuclear weapons, but they don't irradiate. What they do is, it's a pretty horrible thing, is that there's a payload system that drops an incendiary high up in the sky. The incendiary is then lit up. So what it does is it robs all the oxygen from the air below it, because it immediately catches that whole area on fire. So it sucks all the air up. So everyone first suffocates. And then, of course, the incendiary will eventually hit the ground with supersonic force because it's compressed air. And so it wipes out everything below it. The Russians have so many of these fucking things that if their intention was mass annihilation, it's very simple for them to do.
You know what? I don't think they'll do that, along with the nuclear missiles, because they're not invading
I agree.
Ukraine because of its scenery. They're invading it because of its infrastructure.
Right. I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah, I mean, it'll be scorched earth, but Russia's not going to have anything left, and they don't have the money to repair that shit.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
they got 99
that's
cents.
that's a huge, great point. Because that's the whole reason they're going in there. They don't want to fuck it up that bad, right?
Yeah.
Because that'll be costly, and obviously costly is something that's a big concern to them. Let's talk a little bit about the sanctions. They've come the momentum has been pretty hefty, and these things keep ramping up to where it's significant, the woes that they're going to face domestically. Let's talk about that for a minute. Like, maybe we can start with the oligarchs, or
Well, I mean, I'll take a swipe at the ruble right now. So today the ruble dropped 40% before they shut down their own markets. So if you look at ETF transfers between the United States and Russia, because once they close the market, their own market, there's a paradigm shift that's occurred financially between the market in Russia and the outer market. So since they shut their market down and tried to jack up their interest rate to 20%, they're trying to maintain an inflated value. But anybody that sees a ruble outside of Russia knows that value's dropped 40%. So just to put it into perspective, I did some fun looking up today. The Mexican peso, right? The Mexican currency.
Oh boy.
If you compare that to the ruble, right? It takes 5 rubles to equal 1
Holy
peso
shit.
right now.
Whoa.
And
So
one
now,
peso
if you're
It
right,
takes about $1 million for $1.
100. Right? Well, no, remember they took off 3 zeros.
No, it is. It's like
100. No, it is. But they took off 3 zeros. Yeah, it's 100,000. But it's 100 pesos to every $1. So that's how that's where the Russian ruble really is in this whole grand scheme of things already. And now it's even lower. So there's just with the way that they've been removed from the IMF, which was like basically Putin was planning on using that was his rainy day fund because he didn't think that the EU was going to sanction him the way they did. The currency almost has no value. So financially, Russia's properly fucked right now. I mean, this is a different level of fucked.
And
so
I
just starting with their currency, their
I think
nothing.
They were sanctioned back to the Stone Age with their currency, man. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
it's pretty
gonna
bad.
when this thing's over, the point at which they have to restart the economy back is so far back, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
they got
It's a
reset
nightmare.
decades,
It's a nightmare.
maybe a century. Who knows? But
It's pretty bad. It's pretty
it's
fucking
really
bad.
bad.
It
I
is
mean,
bad.
you're choking off business in Russia for the cost of Ukraine, dude. That's fucked up.
And outside of the foreign assets and accounts and shit that they own, the properties that all these oligarchs own across the fucking world, all over the place, here in the United States, England, fucking every goddamn where. And that you're not making the money in the fucking country. That's
Well, remember, so they're all their financial transactions are depending on which ones. So there's certain oligarchs that are being held back. There's certain like business people and government officials that have specific sanctions on them. Depending on their financial transactions, they've all been iced. I mean, we're talking about, their whole market got shut down today. Russia's properly fucked financially. There's nothing they're going to be able to deal with this. Like, the Russian people are going to see a recession that made 2008 look like it was a blip. Like, this is a serious financial crash for Russia. And on top of that,
it's not even a recession, dude. It's more of a depression at this point.
Well, there's actually a differentiation with the way that the depression is calculated versus a recession. I think they're still calling it technically a recession because of the percentages and the way that it occurred versus I know. I was reading on this shit all day today.
But by Wednesday, it'll be a fucking depression.
Right.
Yeah.
In 2 days,
It's
maybe
almost
a
like
full-blown depression. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It's just because the math hasn't had a chance to occur yet.
Yeah. It's
That's the only
fucking.
reason.
So you got that. You got the fact that the Swiss have now entered the fray. So, if anyone knows, the Swiss have been particularly
neutral as usual.
Well, liberal with their
their whole
banking
thing.
policies.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
The Hitler
That's where-
hid all the gold there, things like that.
That's where all the
Swiss have
criminals
not been the greatest.
have accounts. Yeah,
That's where I have an account.
notorious.
Yeah,
That's why Switzerland exists.
and they make great watches.
essentially, yeah.
And chocolate.
Chalk, very fucking true. Cannot fuck.
Oh,
with
their
Swiss
chocolate. No. Their
Yeah.
chocolate's the best. That's the
It is.
fucking.
It's their chocolate stripper titties.
It is.
But in the end, though, they've locked out all the currency. They're locking out all their financial transactions and currencies, and they're limiting their access to funds. I mean, we're seriously talking about this is probably the first time in modern, I think in all of fucking history, where a complete isolation is occurring. I mean, don't get me wrong, they still have India and China, which are very large markets and people that can loan you money.
Yeah,
But they're going to belong to one of them if they keep fucking around.
China.
Well, no, India's also got a hard
think
card to
India?
play in there because remember, India has a very large growing market and their capital reserves are exploding. India is a big player in this shit too. Russia's going to belong to one of them at this point.
You know what I find interesting too, talking about China. We, myself included, man. I saw the Russia-China alliance sort of in conspiracy theory terms probably episodes ago, like a kind of a freak out and party in the back or doom and destruction meditation exercise. But either way, what's interesting though is like, so from the get-go, as soon as they invaded Ukraine, when Russia invaded Ukraine, China had backed them and stand by it. They've backed off a little. And I don't know if that's just because it's like, ew, like they're fucked. Like I feel like China was pretty gung-ho initially on the invasion and kind of siding with Russia, but they don't I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, man. Like you
Yeah.
said, they may just get owned. And yeah, Indy is probably a bigger player than maybe I'm giving them credit for. But I get it though. No, I see what. Yeah, I could see them being that. But China obviously is in
But
the
here's
mix.
the
And
thing, like
yeah, go ahead.
the Russian people. I mean, I'm pretty sure they love money more than they love Ukraine or even Putin.
Big time.
I'm sure they're pretty pissed off about this entire thing right now. And
Well,
at some point, I mean, are you gonna see mass uprisings in Moscow or
Maybe
one of
not
these capital
yet.
cities?
well,
Maybe
just to
not
be
yet. Yeah, it could
I
get
mean,
there though.
When
Well,
people
well-
get hungry, man, they don't care.
right. But the only problem is that the Russians are like the Americans. Like we're literally both two sides of the coins, right?
Yeah.
So their morons are just as bad as our morons here. So there's a contingency, a very large contingency of Russian population that believes what Putin's doing is right. They believe the hyperbole in the press, and we're gonna have to probably address this at some point. The denazification, they really do believe in this. They do believe that there's a Nazi movement in Ukraine.
But there is though.
And there is.
That is true.
Right, there is true.
That is true.
There
That's
is
not-
come on, it's like
no.
the Nazi
No.
movement here in America. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's just
No,
like
right.
morons here think the same shit. Just like
No,
they
no,
think that, certain things like that nature.
Yeah, and now he definitely used that as an excuse, but
Well,
there
but
is it is a real thing.
Yeah, but it's mainly in the eastern regions. It's just but that's like using, and I'm not trying to pick on a particular state, Florida, Mississippi, like trying to
Shout out. Big
trying
up.
to say
Jackson,
that
what's
those
up?
are Alabama, trying to say that those states and their beliefs make up
Thank
what
you,
everything
'cause
in the United
You
States.
do know I have significant family in Mississippi. That
I was trying to move
listens
away
to
from
the show.
Mississippi, but Alabama
Listens to
mainly.
the show on the. We'll go Alabama. Yeah, thank you.
Alabama. Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Fuck, okay, you know what? Fuck Alabama. Mississippi, great roads, driven through it
place.
several times. Alabama.
Well,
shit
that's a
hole,
lie. That's a
dirt
lie. But
rolls,
there's other
dirt
good
roads.
things there.
No, dirt roads.
Roads
and
aren't
fucking,
roads
no,
aren't great.
great. Roads are better than Alabama, which are fucking like neighborhood roads, and that's what they consider their highways. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
that's like looking at them and determining things. So just like the morons here, like allow hyperbole and the press to determine what they feel because of overzealous nationalism, they still got the same shit over there in Russia. So while they show some protests, some people getting arrested and shit against the war, it's not as much as you would think. There is a
You also gotta
decent
remember-
backing.
You also got to remember too that Russia has their mindset is a little bit different when it comes to catastrophes. I mean, they've been through the starvation as a nation. They've been slaughtered.
They've been through the
They've been-
Germans
Dude, I mean,
twice.
Yeah.
yeah, they've been on the shittier, the short end of the stick there, but they're used to this kind of thing. Kind of. I mean, it's in their culture. It's in their survival mode. That happened here in America. People wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
No, and
I mean,
think
we'd be
about
eating
this
each
too.
other.
Like that whole region, dude, is like
It
the
would.
alleyway.
It would be.
Somebody, yeah, it's like the alleyway of fucking fighting. You know what I mean? That whole basically Eastern Europe, that whole geographic like stripe that goes down there, all those countries. Jesus Christ, like turmoil. That's where it all gets hashed out because it's that sort of bridge between it's that Eurasia, kind of whatever dotted line. And yeah, man, those cultures are built around fucking conflict. They're different. It's a different breed of people.
Yeah, it is
100%. It
Right.
really is.
But nonetheless, there's still morons
No,
on
no,
both
no,
sides.
yeah.
And so yeah, so you just have these encapsulated populations that are going to believe what the nationalists are, the overzealous, the same type of bullshit you have here, where the country is never wrong.
Right.
America. Well, the same thing for them is Russia. There's still a sizable
Antifa.
contingency.
Oh, and he
that believes
plays
in
on
that.
that.
Right.
He
Antifa
plays on
or
that
whatever they're gonna
intelligence.
say. Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, by force. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Well,
he was
strategically.
ex-KGB.
No, for sure. Let's say just this way. I'll put it this way instead of intelligently, strategically and forcefully, right? Like they already once this shit started, I think Facebook and Twitter are both banned domestically in Russia.
Which I disagree with tremendously.
Well, yeah,
I really do. I really do. I disagree with the fact that they banned that Facebook and Twitter and all these other ones were banned Russia essentially.
Well, they banned
Because-
RT.
And RT. But here's the thing now.
Oh, okay.
How are the people from Russia supposed to communicate to the world their perspective? You know, they've just silenced or censored voices from Russia, whether they agree or disagree with the war, but they censored those voices. We'll never know.
But that's state media, though, right? That's state-run
No,
media.
yeah, 'cause-
That's state
no, they
shut it
media.
down.
No. We did. We so
Facebook shut down Russia.
Facebook
Like,
No,
and
they did,
Twitter.
but he also he shut the shit down.
No, he wants it back on. Like he's mad at them for not having it on. So right now, but RT, that's Russian
I bet he
controlled
should.
media, bro.
I know, but I'm not talking about RT. I'm talking about the average Russian citizen.
They can
No
still
longer
get
has
on.
that. No, they can't. They
Are
can't.
you sure? Because what I heard, and maybe I misheard, was that Russian controlled media was the problem. But you can still look at, Olaf's channel on woodworking on YouTube.
No, I mean maybe you.
That's a good
but,
watch.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
would highly
It's
suggest
pretty
you
dope,
subscribe
dude.
to Olaf. Yeah.
He made a fucking sled the other day, and
No,
if
no
it ever
shit.
snows again here, I'm gonna fucking make it. I got all the wood. He showed me how to do it with patience, and he has a great recipe for hot chocolate and chocolate.
He's like he's got the wood like this.
Yeah,
And
No,
then
you know what?
hope
You know what
have
he does really
miserable
well?
day.
yeah.
Like,
He
it's
takes
great.
it. He takes it that I can cut 90s and 45s or whatever without it. But dude, those intricate, dude, like routing those corners and rounding those edges
Yeah,
and
I mean,
shit for the.
He shows you how to do it with the
Yeah, he-
Kalashnikov. I mean, he does
It's a
all of
whole-
his wood
exactly.
cutting with an AK. You know how
Nice.
awesome that
It's
is?
pretty amazing.
And with
he
a
does
cigarette
it-
hanging off his lip. Yeah.
Yes.
One, two
Atlan-
cigarettes.
Can we talk? Hey, can
While
we
taking
talk real
shots
quick?
of fucking like vodka? Fuck
Like he
yeah.
talks and the cigarette just like flips around when he's talking.
Speaking of that, hey,
He's just
check
in
it
the
out.
wood.
Check it out. Speaking of that, so yeah, for a minute, let's talk about like this. We were just kind of talking about social media within Russia, but how about the stuff coming out? I was off the last couple of days, and I know you were too, Ben. I was consumed with just absorbing the stuff coming out of like on TikTok and Twitter from Ukraine, sitting here watching war real time as never before. I don't think I've ever experienced, there's been conflicts and stuff, and there's stuff available here and there, but this stuff really permeated through. It got to the point where I was on TikTok and like every swipe was like legit fucking TikToks being posted by people in
Isn't that crazy?
Kiev
Oh
defending.
my god!
Yeah.
Dude,
like
like,
see how many
watching
of them
the
were
shit go
fake?
down.
You can see how
Oh,
many. of
there
them
is a
were
lot of fake. That's another.
They
shit.
shut him
It's a-
down like every 20 seconds, like people walking through the woods with like he was like, I'm like, that's not a real machine gun, assholes. That's like a toy one. Like they're like playing a looping soundtrack, and people are like, oh god, I hope you're safe. It's like, well, why are you walking the woods at night with machine gun fire? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that too. But before we get into like all the fakes and
Yeah.
stuff, but there is a lot of shit that is legit, right? Because there's citizens involved in this, and there's
like
not
the
any
convoys
reason-
that get destroyed. Yeah.
convoys getting
I mean-
destroyed. People. What? God, there's more shit we can.
There's
You
so
say
much.
that, and then I
So
branch off to
much
this other whole
shit.
topic. But just as far as consuming it, it was pretty trippy, right? To see, gunning
this is like the
down
60s,
Russian
right?
aircrafts and shit. Yeah,
It's
it
like
is
the
like when
60s
people
with
saw footage
Vietnam.
from Vietnam.
Like this is
And
one of the very few unbridled, because you gotta remember they shut down Desert Storm. They shut down basically anything to do in Iraq, Afghanistan. They wouldn't even allow videos of the caskets of the soldiers coming home whenever they passed. So yeah, this is a totally different media thing. I mean, it's pretty crazy when the enemy, they let everything be shown of the enemy's war versus our own wars. I mean, they didn't show half the shit we did. So yeah,
That's a good point too.
interesting. Oh yeah. Oh no. I mean, I think someone put this the best way. He goes, "Hey, assholes, this is how war looks.
Right.
Like we just did this for 20 years. This is exactly how war looks. This is what war is.
Yeah, our enemies didn't have the capability of fucking. Well, TikTok wasn't as.
Oh well, Al Jazeera.
I mean, the Taliban. Come on, dude. They're in caves. I mean, they don't. They fuck sheep for.
But we're
fun.
No, they had access to. No, I guess. Well, here's the thing.
That's what the Russians think of the Ukrainians.
But
That's exactly That's exactly the way they think of them. They think of them in some aspects, and don't get me wrong. There's a lot of like, oh, well, they're cousins and they're brothers, but a lot of them think they're sheep fuckers, bro. The same type of mentality. They go, man, fuck them, just like they did with the Chechens and all that. Whenever they hit Chechnya, it's the same attitude. You see what I'm saying? That is what it's about. That's how the Russians.
But I think it's worse towards Chechnya.
Oh, Chechnya
that's a whole nother thing.
That's a dirty. They really don't like Chechens.
But either way, speaking of media coverage and stuff, what do y'all think about? So there's been a sentiment coming from a certain population upset that this is actually getting so much coverage, right? Because sort of the proposed theory behind this
just
is
rip
that,
off the band.
What population are you talking about?
They're white.
They're white,
so it's more of an issue.
Why
aren't we showing the bombings in Yemen? No, it's not just
Africans. There's been some talk from Africans and some other non-Slavic countries.
Right.
Yeah.
What about
right? So which hey, there is a bias. Like that's a real thing.
100%.
100%.
There's no
that's
bias.
Real. That is real.
Bro.
There is.
What?
But the only counterpoint or the pushback
there's no bias. What are you talking about?
Fucking really, dude?
There is.
What?
Fucking really?
What? Tell me.
Did you see
an
the
example.
EU jerking each other off to get involved with what we were doing to Afghanistan in Afghanistan? Did you see the EU do anything like?
I know NATO was involved. NATO was involved in Afghanistan,
but they didn't stop us. Here we were. We are doing the same thing to brown people, and no one gave a fuck.
Even worse than Afghanistan.
Yeah,
Afghanistan was a staging point for 9/11. That's why we went in there.
What about?
How about
Sierra
Iraq
Leone?
Was even worse.
How about Nigeria right now? How about all these other countries that are having widespread ethnic genocides? And you don't see
Nigeria's not having ethnic genocide.
Yes, they are. They've been having ethnic genocide for the last 5 years.
Who are they killing? Each other?
Yes, the tribal. Yes, it's ethnic genocide.
Okay. Well,
boy,
come on,
it's real.
Well,
it's fucking real, homie. I mean, dude, in Africa, this happens quite a bit, but you don't see the EU like locking down shit, right? You don't see anyone really doing anything
because it's not in their backyard.
No, dude, it is kind of pretty fucking, dude. So for us, it's a different understanding, but for Europe, Africa is really not that fucking far away. Yeah, remember, there's not much distance between Europe and Africa. I mean, fucking Spain, Morocco, Africa. That's right.
Yeah,
there,
but Africa's not a solid country. I mean, it's an entire continent that stretches like more than half of the earth.
And the Congo's right up top, brother, and they're having quite a few problems there also.
Well, I mean, there's
Western Africa, Eastern Africa.
There's an African Union also that takes care of these problems as well. And that's their jurisdiction. Okay, we don't like to step on any toes.
And what about Serbians and
well, I mean,
Kosovo?
What about that? Pretty sad. It is pretty sad to see white little children, panicking.
No, there is definitely a bias.
and that's coming from
Mexican. He's like, I do feel pretty bad.
I do feel pretty bad with these poor little white,
there's just something about blue-eyed.
It's horrible.
I think there is some validity to what they're saying.
Yeah, I think there's sad. It's sadder, right? It's sad.
Something about it. It's very sad.
You motherfuckers remind me of Time to Kill. Remember whenever fucking like Matthew McConaughey's giving that fucking last little speech? He goes,
"Oh, that's right.
Close your eyes and imagine she's white." And he starts like, they all start going, "Oh Jesus!" Like the whole fucking jury's like crying, and he's like, his tears are falling out of his eyes, and the jurors are like throwing up. This is after they imagine that the poor girl that was raped brutally was a white girl. They're like, "Oh jeez, oh my god, oh my god."
Now it hits home.
Now it really
makes sense.
hurts.
This makes sense.
Oh god, perspective.
but that's what I'm saying. I think I
So-
definitely think there's something in
So
that.
here, let me put my 2 cents. So while that is definitely a real thing, yes, there is media
Well,
coverage shifted
we'll
towards
see.
when it's white people. It's just it's gonna
Greatest
happen.
movie.
Okay, I'm
That
not
was
saying
a
it's right or
great-
wrong.
You guys got to
Yeah,
hold on. Give me some props on the fucking time to kill analogy. That was
No, that
so
was great.
good.
That was
great.
quick.
That was
was clever.
Sorry. Continue.
Let me finish. Now, while that's true, right? There is a bias. There's a media bias towards that, of course. However, though, it can't be understated though that the fucking ramifications that lie beneath the potential how this fucking plays out are way more dire than, let's say, some conflict in
Africa.
a little Middle East country. No, and
Well,
I'm
no,
not even
dude.
being I'm not being shitty about it,
No,
because
no.
the fact that you have one of the biggest nuclear powers involved
Exactly.
in this. Okay,
Exactly.
with regardless of what Ben thinks of their capabilities, you definitely but they've got more goddamn nukes than Canada, dude. Like
I don't think
100%.
so.
Okay,
Well, they got more
Bro.
nukes in Nigeria
You-
or the Congo. So
they
I don't
do.
think
yeah.
They
so.
definitely
I
do.
don't
They
think
definitely do, man.
I'm sorry,
And
guys.
You just said they had thermonuclear weapons or whatever.
No,
You just talk- we just-
thermobaric.
Okay, whatever. Thermobaric weapons. You said they had thermobaric.
Thermobaric.
I don't see
I don't-
Congo or Nigeria having that, man.
No, and
So-
I don't
They
care if
do.
No, they don't.
Blood diamonds pay for all that shit. The
They got-
warlords, the warlords,
what? They got
wear fucking
AK-47s.
nuclear weapons on their fingers, man.
They got aviator sunglasses on, nuclear
Uh-huh.
weapons. I mean,
They got
AK-47s,
plutonium,
and
bro. They got plutonium everywhere, dude.
they got little red berets on.
Dude.
I see that.
Hey, who do you think they bought it from? They bought it from the Russians because those guys are so fucking broke. Come on, dude. Think about it. What was the mathematical
What?
equation we just did right now? 5 fucking rubles to 1 peso. Trust me, Africa got way more money than fucking Russia does.
Well, right now,
All the time. All
No.
the time, dude. All the time.
it's just in the hands of like 5 people.
Yeah. Yeah. But they bought
No,
all
but
the
that
nuclear
is you know what, it is fucking true, man. Like Africa, just to kind of go branch off just for a real quick thing on Africa. It's interesting, right? I read this article somewhat recently about how, when Gaddafi was assassinated, you heard about this shit? Like apparently like they were going to merge and create like a central bank.
Oh yeah.
That could have been some real shit, man. Like, so you're right though, Ben, that even though it's not like in this centralized form, they do hold some fucking wealth.
Bro.
It may just be between like a handful of fucking dudes and everybody else is like in the Stone Age or fucking fighting civil wars over each other and all this just fucking chaos. But yeah, there's some motherfuckers got some money.
Power in Africa too, just because
But
it nonetheless,
nonetheless, though, you have to admit that, especially since NATO being tested kind of for the first time in a real way, in their real, are you really down? That's kind of what's going on too. It's like, how much money like Germany gets and shit. Like, yo, you're the biggest economy. Why don't you spend a little bit more on your fucking military and take this shit seriously instead of just relying on the USA to be this force that sort of carries the weight of the whole thing, right? You just get to ride in that umbrella, in that safety net without putting in you know what I mean? Because that's what's happening too. Like it's kind of like, hey, who's really down for NATO? Like you can reduce it down to some little schoolyard fucking brawl alliance, right? Where it's like, oh, yo, like, or even like a neighborhood gang and shit. Are you willing to throw down when shit hits the fan? And that's honestly too, a lot of that is like why these sanctions have ramped up like so fucking quick. Cause it's like, nobody wants to fight, but they want to look hardcore and they want to look down. Germany does big time because
those Hitler motherfuckers want to get back in the game.
They want to get back in the game
and
bad. They're already starting to commit to spending more militarily.
Yeah, I bet they are.
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just the whole thing to me is interesting because regardless of what happens and like how much bullshit you think Russia's nuclear program really is,
it's horseshit. I'm sorry.
One thing I do want to talk about though is Putin himself and the fact that we are all these things and all these doubts or whatever. At the end of the day, relies on one guy, one guy who's at this point, he's just about 70. What is he, 69? I think he's almost 70
Hold
years
on, I
old.
can fact check.
He's shown signs of deterioration mentally.
Dude, we've been seeing that for what, a year now?
Yeah.
2 years?
69 years
Right.
old.
So that, to me,
Two
that's a little
mentally
concerning.
disabled.
That's
We
a
got two
little
disabled
if-
geriatrics here.
And no, I know. And let me point to something also. What if this is just a little scenario to exercise in your brain? What if a doctor told Putin a few months ago, "Hey man, you've got 6 months to live."
Make it
Think
happen.
about that shit, dude. And he's just like, you know what? Fuck NATO. Think about that shit, dude.
I mean, that's a psychopath because you're putting other people's lives at risk here, you know?
Well,
Well, you guys, you
I
have
know,
6
but
months. You're giving
that's what
a
I'm worried
kid
about.
here who's, 3 months.
but you still have the bear, right? You still have the one thing. Like, don't get me wrong, Vladimir Putin's a scary guy, but there is also a lot of military bureaucracy in Russia. So the generals, while they'll play along, that's the other. So, and not to keep going back to nuclear thing, because I Putin, while he could be unstable, the Russian bureaucracy militarily wise can stop him. And I'm pretty sure they will stop him if he goes too far over. Because in reality, the mutual destruction clause, no one's going to win. And all these guys like silk sheets. You can't enjoy money if everything is burning.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And if you think about it, if you just, and it just a further high cap on the lack of their military prowess. If you look at the equipment they're using in Ukraine, half of that shit looks like it's from the 60s.
All right, I have a
Yeah,
theory
there's
about this.
There's
Oh yeah,
videos.
Okay,
So
I actually want to hear that.
My theory is that they're taking all the old inventory of weapons and tanks and everything and rolling them over to Ukraine, letting Ukraine waste all their ammo on this crap, and then they're going to bring in the good stuff once they're tired.
But do they have good stuff?
They might. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's the most second powerful military in the world?
It is, but is it really though? Just like Iraq. Remember, Iraq was the third largest military when we attacked them. We steamrolled the piss shit out of them. Like it looked like it looked like a game of Contra. Like it was fucking ridiculous. We just steamrolled them. And then whenever you broke down what they really had, you're like, oh, okay. Well, they didn't have shit.
Right. There's a big gap between number one and make no mistake. If you look that up, Google that up. Not, you don't have to, Ben, but like
I will
whoever.
Google. I'm a Googler.
Look at the numbers of the might of, and not just in like however many enlisted soldiers, but like the capabilities, I should say, of the United States military. It's pretty fucking crazy.
Well, the best way to determine a military strength is their annual spending budget. We spend Russia's GDP on just ours every year.
Military, yeah, no, for sure.
That's what we spend. We spend Russia's whole GDP on ours, and that also includes maintaining our warheads. Russia has no economy. Russia has nothing. They just like China. They're paper tigers. They claim these massive military, but what is it going to do if only 1 out of every 6 of them have a gun? And that gun may not work.
That was back in the 80s.
It's still now. Look at what they're using. Look at their tactics are out fucking dated. Everything they're doing is outdated. How would you not have scouted Kiev better than they have now? How would you not have done any of the things they're doing better? All it takes is a West Point grad right now to fucking clean up Kiev in a day or two. It's an old, right? Yeah, West Point. Yeah. That's all it did. One guy graduated from West Point. He didn't even have to do that good.
Not even
And
from
he
the
could've-
Naval Academy, huh?
No, West Point. He
West
just could have boom done. 2 days, Kevin's fault. He's like
Army.
It was like a fucking, it was like a pop quiz. But these morons can't even handle this shit. That's the problem. And that's what I keep trying to tell you. Russia and China aren't shit. Their nuclear weapons, I'll be honest with you, they're probably scared that those fucking things are going to explode just sitting where they are. They have no maintenance, no research, no nothing. And yes, everyone can have the sunshine on their ass and they'll be like, oh, I can put some rockets up in the sky. But the only reason why we don't do it is because we're pussies here in the United States after Challenger. Nobody wants space deaths anymore, which is why the Soyuz capsule, which has been fucking used since the 60s, the same fucking rocket since the 60s. There's just telling y'all, there is nothing special at all about them. So to be quite honest with you, I would be more scared if I was a Russian. I'd be scared if Russia launched nuclear weapons, not because of what the United States was going to do, was because half of those fucking missiles would probably fall down and detonate right where they fucking came out of. It's just yeah, the same thing with China. They know it. That's why China's shutting the fuck up. They're like, oh shit.
China's shutting the fuck up because they want to invade Taiwan. That's what the media tells me, that they want to invade Taiwan and it's going to happen.
They do. Well, they do.
And it's going to happen real soon. And they're going to beat the United States in naval combat. So
they do, but it takes a long time to row boats that in the China Sea, and that's what China has. I'm telling you guys.
No, they got aircraft carriers and
one
destroyers.
They have one, maybe two.
No,
and guess what?
No,
dude, no, not compared to what we have. Okay, there's a great game called Age of Empires. I don't know if you guys ever played it. Right? It's a fucking sweet game, right?
I've heard of it. Yeah,
and it was great because it was
Candy
like
Crush?
a little bit different objectives. So in Age of Empires, what you would do is you would rise as a civilization technology wise, but the other civilizations wouldn't necessarily hit those technology wise, so they would still attack you, right? So like I would be at space age and I got some fucking like some fucking dumbasses trying to attack me with wooden boats. I mean, yeah, they had 150 wooden boats, but I had fucking like robots and lasers. So it's just like, okay, China has has a bunch of aircraft carriers, right? They're made out of wood and shit. We're gonna swamp their asses. I mean, it's just we make these boogeymen because it keeps our military-industrial complex getting paid.
No, that's probably true. I agree.
We make them so scary. Oh, they're gonna get us. Did you not see the half-ass shit we gave Israel with Iron Dome? They were firing shitty random missiles. Do you know how hard it is to knock down shitty random missiles that have no real electrical signals or carriers? They took them all out.
Wait a second. Who are you talking about? The Palestinians or Russians?
No. When Hezbollah was launching.
Hezbollah, yeah.
And the Iron Dome. You don't think we got something like that over the fucking Atlantic? You don't think we have the possibilities of doing that already? Dude,
yeah, I'm sure we do.
We gave Israel our fucking old shit. What do you think about our new shit that we have? I'm just saying, in the end, we build up these big bad guys because we want to propagate war budgets.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know the Ukrainians probably have the same military might as Russia do.
Just not the number of. Yeah,
not the number of. Yeah. But I mean, they do have those Turkish drones that are taking out some of those tanks.
So much bullshit. Much bullshit.
Oh yeah, tell me about that. What is your conspiracy with that shit, man?
It's not a conspiracy. That was us. That was the United States.
I don't think so.
Well, okay, look. Everyone wants to talk shit about Putin being super, super crazy, right? Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I think he's losing his edge because attacking all of Ukraine was just dumb. But what to rattle the nuclear saber so quickly, there had to be a reason. And that was because we've been using our drones to take out their convoys. That's the reason why Ukraine's still standing. And of course, it's so funny when they showed that convoy, pictures of it being destroyed. I literally told my wife, that's an airstrike. When did they get air capabilities to do that? And Amy's like, what are you talking about? I go, this is an airstrike. Look at this. There's no way human beings did this. This is a straight up airstrike. And then a couple hours later, they go, oh, Turkish drones did this. Really?
Yeah. Turkish drones.
Fucking drones. Okay.
Exactly. Turkey is pretty mighty militarily to take out convoys. Yeah.
Really. Let's look up Turkey's GDP.
Turkey's GDP. All right, don't look at that shit, man. What are you doing? That's nerd stuff. Don't even look at that.
Is it anywhere? Is it anywhere near Harris counties?
Pretty actually. Hold on.
It's the same budget that Harris Health has.
Cyprus.
Oh no! Hold on. This is gonna be tits.
Turkey's GDP is the same as Harris Health.
My subdivision.
You guys keep running this because this is gonna be tits. Oh my god!
Your subdivision. Benji's HOA.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking close because okay, so I just looked at
my HOA spends more on military than Turkey.
Than Turkey does.
I can't do it. It's like our budget to HEB is fucking Turkey's fucking GDP compared to what we do. It's so fucking sad. Oh my god!
It's like when you get your credit card statement or your bank statement.
Oh my god!
And it's so like bad. It breaks it down into how much you spend at restaurants. That's Turkey's fucking GDP. Dude, how much fucking Mexican Nostradamus spends on fucking Wendy's?
Yeah, that's what I spend on Wendy's all day long. Oh my god. So anyways, yeah. Turkey's GDP is 771 with a B billion dollars.
771 billion. Really?
That's their GDP. Whereas ours is $22.1 trillion. Significant changes. Like the state of Texas probably makes more money than all of Turkey.
Well, it's Harris County,
and we're not even the biggest one. We're not even the biggest state when it comes to GDP. You got two others. You got New York and fucking California. So yeah, you're telling me that these guys came up with a drone program that looks pretty fucking similar to our drone program. Even the videos, it was like, oh, yeah, we'll just show the video. I mean, even though the videos, all the stuff's in English, but it was definitely Turkish drones.
All the stuff's in English.
It's in English. If you look on the bottom, it's in English.
All the fucking coordinates and shit. And the numbers.
But every Turkish person uses their military equipment in English. It's fucking madness. So people keep talking shit like Putin, he's gone crazy. No, it's because Putin knows that we're using drones to strike his convoys. That's us. We're involved already, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you know it or not, Biden specifically said, we will not commit troops. That's all he said.
Right.
We will not commit troops.
And we're probably involved intelligent-wise too.
Yeah. No, we're hitting the convoys with drones. We're hitting, and that's why Putin threw a fit. Because he knows he's going to lose if we continue to give him that type of support. Our aerial drones are so far ahead of everyone. They literally think that they're fucking flying saucers. Like when our drones...
I would have thought the same thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have seen a drone and think it was a flying saucer because that thing doesn't make any noise.
Dude, there's cargo cults.
Wings.
There's cargo cults. There's probably cargo cults of our drone operations. Like there's people like, oh, it's a magic.
Oh,
I mean, they're so fucking they're so fucking far ahead. So yeah, I think that's why people keep saying, oh, he's lost his goddamn mind. Don't get me wrong. I think he's lost something, but he knows that we're hitting his shit. And I think that's why he threw that out there. Cause he's like, oh, okay, fuck faces. You like indirect support is what it is, but direct support is a different game. So that's what I believe, because all of a sudden now Ukraine has drones.
Yeah, they did. There was a news article that said that they purchased Turkish drones. What is it, like back in October?
I bet they did. Yeah, okay. Because Turkey with its 771 billion, that buys half a drone.
Hey, let me ask you a question. The timeline. So Alex Jones predicted war in February, back in October.
Right.
Do you think he has inside information?
Who, Alex Jones?
Yeah. because he predicted this. He was like, back in October, he said, I expect the war to be in February. It would be Russia invading Ukraine.
No, I just think it's. I think he was smart. I think honestly, people can say whatever about that. Yeah, he's retarded. I say retarded. Actually, I'll use that word.
Hey,
I know, dude, and I listen to him too, dude. I listen to that crazy bastard. I laugh half the time listening to him, but there's something wrong. But I think sometimes he really does hit it really pretty good, and I think he's a student of history, and I think he really saw it. I think there. Could he have had inside information? Yeah, I mean, definitely. He was so inside the Trump organization that to think that he doesn't have any leftover fillers in the Biden administration would just be stupid. I mean, of course he does.
Well, and here's something too, like you could see, especially now, like in retrospect, right, taking over Crimea strategically now, like as they're attacking, it's like, oh yeah, duh.
Oh yeah.
So that's why, like, once again, that points to he had this on his mind for a long time. It was just a matter of when to strike.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons he's invading, though. Tons of reasons why he would invade. One is, of course, the oil.
Natural gas. Natural gas in
yeah.
particular in Ukraine.
Huge natural gas deposits over there off the sea there. And then he also doesn't want NATO or the East or the Western Europe in his back doorstep either. Because Ukraine has become very pro Western Europe.
Yeah. But wouldn't they? Okay, so let's say he takes over Ukraine.
Yeah.
Wouldn't Poland be right there?
Well, he's got a buffer now. You see, if he takes over Ukraine,
really though, then Ukraine just becomes Russia. So now he still has NATO on his front. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, logistically, it's like, okay, well, if you keep going west, you're just going to have more NATO nations on your back door.
Yeah, but they're not as close to Moscow. So right now, if you want to, what is it, like 11 hours from Kyiv to Moscow?
Yeah.
Right. So you take over Ukraine, you extend that buffer. Okay. It now makes it harder to invade Russia in the winter. Whereas if Ukraine becomes part of the EU or NATO, they don't have to wait. They could, they can invade in the winter and it wouldn't take that long.
No, I see it would take longer because they'd have to cross through Ukraine. But
if Ukraine becomes a friendly nation, they can just start amassing military right there.
And not only that, moving
forward.
Well, also too, look culturally and all the different ties and stuff like we talked about earlier. It's a little bit more of a threat too if they become. It's like if you're, it's like if an ex-girlfriend starts, fucking a dude that was like your best friend, right? And now you're not. He's got all your shit. It's like, you know what I mean? It's somewhere along the lines of that psychology.
I like where this is going.
Oh boy.
So Ukraine. Wait, hold on. So who's the ex-girlfriend in this situation? Ukraine.
And what do we do with
Ukraine?
So NATO is the new boyfriend. The girl. Russia. So Russia's the original fuck guy.
Yes. And NATO's fucking Ukraine now.
Oh. So I don't know. I like it.
It's something like that. I mean, it's not a perfect.
Let's not be non-discriminatory. It could also be a group of dudes doing this or a group of chicks, but nonetheless, a significant other is being banged by someone else.
Correct.
But
so
nice.
Crude example, but you see the point I'm trying to make, right?
I mean, why don't they just do some Chinese finger cuffs? I mean,
maybe they will. I don't know. At some point, they probably
just
will.
Have a gangbang.
Those territories.
Have a gangbang. It'll make everyone happy.
The point being, though, it's a little bit more. Well, not only that, but fucking Russia. What we think of Russia now. Mind you, too. When did we start pronouncing Kiev different? Always in my head, it's always Kiev.
I spelled it wrong. I spelled it wrong until like Saturday. I kept spelling it Kiev.
No, but I think that used to be. I think that used to be.
Oh, okay.
The general, how
I'm a pretty big soccer fan, and I'm telling you,
you're right.
Kiev, like now it's KYIV.
You know how like Mumbai it was Bombay,
yeah,
and now it's Mumbai. It's the same thing. It's like
right.
It's like because all of a sudden you're watching all this news coverage and everybody's calling it Kiev, like
it should be Kiev, right?
Like it was Kiev. Well, no, they say Kiev. And
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
it's Kiev. Like it's all the time growing up, I always thought of it as Kiev. Anyway, fuck it.
Yeah.
But it was sort of almost the birthplace though of what we know as modern Russia.
Yep.
So it crossed it. In other words, it's a little bit different than, let's say, whatever, name your other former Soviet state, right? Ukraine's a little bit more closely related probably than the others culturally, but I don't know.
No, I get it. I just, nonetheless, no matter what, it's just the systematic paranoia, because no matter what happens, no matter what country he takes over, he will have to continue to deal with this NATO state. So it's just kind of crazy. It's just crazy.
But they really are fucked economically.
They are. And once again, like I said, and just like you stated, just pray for the people of Ukraine. You guys hold tight.
Russia too, man.
Grip tight, motherfuckers. Y'all, everyone, hold on. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, but just and I hate, and I'm not, and I definitely, for if we have any Russian listeners or anything, we like to hear your perspectives also.
Actually.
We would like to hear, but I would have to say, just I hope at some point we can get over this just barbaric concept that we have to do this every time we don't agree between nations. It's just stupid. So
and you know what else we don't agree on is whether COVID was created in a lab or
wait
in a market.
We agree.
Rick.
We agree on this.
Well, we do.
What's that?
We meaning the general public. Rick, put some knowledge on this subject about this genetic match.
Put some respect on that.
So we found.
So the Daily Mail came up with an article today, talking about something very interesting that the scientists found regarding COVID, the coronavirus. Is that there was a sequence of genetic material within the virus itself that is so unique that it was patented by Moderna way back in 2016. So the correlation here is that you had a pharmaceutical company that patented a gene sequence that turned out to be a pandemic, and they provided us with a vaccine. That's what's happening. It's in the chances of this sequence happening naturally. The same sequence, by the way, it's 3,300 nucleotides that have been put together, and the chances of this thing happening naturally and then having Moderna patent it independently is extremely astronomical. You can't, dude. It doesn't happen. It's like shooting a bullet.
And they said 1 in 3. I think 1 in 3 trillion.
1 in 3 trillion.
Right. Well, that was the numbers that that article threw out.
Yeah. 1 in 3 trillion chance of having the same sequence that Moderna patented happen naturally, coincidentally. So no, it's not going to happen. Something was going down in these Chinese labs where Moderna found it necessary to patent a certain code of genetic material. And for whatever reason, 3 years later, they put this thing in a virus and release it, and Moderna just happens to have the vaccine for it. So, oof. I know, man. When does it happen? I mean, I don't know. Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder. I mean,
no, big time makes you fucking wonder.
What the fuck happened? What's going on?
We sniffed this out back when we started the fucking show, man. I mean, well, not just us, obviously.
Well, mainly us.
Mainly us.
We were the trailblazers of the whole thing.
We were the trailblazers.
100% the trailblazers.
We really were. And more, I mean, you know what? It's hard to document the shit, but you can go back, man. You can go start at episode 1 and just you know what? I have a challenge to our Skip the Noise listeners. Let's break the third wall real quick. We talked a lot about Russia.
Is this the dick pic challenge to send to you?
No, it's not that. That's coming probably this summer, right?
The dick
We
pic
don't. I don't want to
Nice.
see. Yeah, this is.
It's like the ice bucket challenge. You want to drop a bucket of dick pics over your head, right?
No, because not with the ice. It's
But
not
we're
going
not
to be
going to
very
be donating
flattering.
money to anything. We're just going to drop a bunch of dicks on our heads
Yeah.
and just be like, ah, you know.
I
Are
mean,
you donating money? Nah. I'm
this
just doing
is-
this for fun.
see, like when they're dropping them.
Nah, if we're dropping dick pics, we're probably waiting till the summer where everything gets nice and loose and sweaty.
Oh,
Right now it's a
boy.
little too
I
cold.
know it. I
It
know
ain't
it.
gonna be. It ain't gonna be as flattering as it would be later in the year.
I like how you prepare for things. I like
Let's
that.
pause on, bro.
You're-
It's always
you're forward
I play
vision.
40 chess. I play 40 chess with
You
my
do.
dick.
Oh boy.
That's what.
Oh boy. that is an analogy that will never
Bro.
leave my mind ever again. See you like
You're very
smacking around
welcome.
see you smacking around like a queen with your cock. All right, continue.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Travis Scott robbing the entity that was my childhood as far as Astroworld and creating it into a satanic ritual that kills souls and sends them into the netherworld. But anyway, regardless of that,
Fucking nasty.
shout out Houston music scene. What's up? What's up, Travis Scott?
Open up portals to hell.
Mo City represents sending portals, sending motherfuckers souls to the eternal damnation.
Fucking Travis Scott's fucking the new Pinhead and shit. Fucking Hellraiser.
Well, here's what I was gonna say before I got derailed by
Dick pics.
Ben's fucking dick pic talk that he likes to. It's fucking like 6 episodes in a row we've talked fucking dick pics.
it's
Have
kinda
worked
weird,
their
isn't
way
it?
into the show. It is kind of weird, man.
No, go fuck yourselves. It's entertaining.
No, you know what I was gonna fucking say. This is what I was gonna say.
I'm laughing about it.
So Pocos Pero Locos is the Skip the Noise listener base, right? We're not
Fucking
huge,
dope, dude.
but we do have the listeners that we do have. I feel like we have a significant percentage that are like ride or dies. Would be really fun, man, if y'all would send me via email, Twitter, Instagram, however you get in touch with your boy. Send me like the whatever you listen to it on. Like screenshot it or like screen record scrolling through like all the episodes downloaded, right? Where it's like, you know how like it'll show like played or download or like a little check mark, whatever app you use. Just scroll through that shit and be like, man, I've been on this shit since episode 42, you know, or whatever the fuck. Whenever you started listening, that would be kind of fun. Because I feel like we reference, it's all a big piece, man. It's a current news show, but it builds on itself. You know, there's things that you got to sometimes go back and rehash. Just like I'll go back and listen to old Coast to Coast episodes for reference. Because sometimes they predict shit and it's real.
It is real.
But this Kobe, yeah, that's 100% real. And I'll start sharing shit like that. I send the text to you guys, like Rick sent one. There's a podcast that uploads these old recordings to Coast. It's fucking dope. And it's like a massive catalog of episodes with all this shit. Anyway, so that's fun to listen to. But nonetheless, this, we talk about this shit before where it's very fishy of how the whole COVID thing worked. And then it all comes, okay, all the mask, like now the mask mandates are getting softened. Even in New York City, they lifted it. HISD just lifted it. And here we are. It's like we put all this stress on the fucking global economy over this bullshit. And people died or whatever, but like it's bad. Okay. Like people died. I'm not downplaying the deaths. And I know that affected people significantly, right? It was a bad disease that did a lot of damage. Okay. But did it merit the amount that we shook up and changed forever how we exist on this fucking planet? I think we fucked ourselves, man, with this, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like I really do. Like I really think we fucking overreacted and fucked up humanity behind this bullshit for the worse.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Of course.
think I don't think Putin has the fucking sack to invade Ukraine if this shit doesn't go down like it did.
Oh, for
Dead
sure.
ass serious.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
This is the opportunity of the window for anyone to do wild shit right now. I mean, look at and not to throw even further out, but look at the financial, the currency manipulation, the financial market manipulation that's occurred under COVID.
Oh,
It's been fucking, I mean, people have gotten away with so much shit. Everything from house price manipulation to, you name it. You fucking name it.
Cars,
but
supply chain, controlling the price of oil.
Fucking apple juice.
You remember that scene in Ocean's 11 where the lights go out in the casino and then they turn back on and then people start fighting over the chips and everything. There's chaos in the casino. That's what happened with COVID. COVID turned off the lights. And then when we turned those back lights on again, people were just stealing everything they possibly could. Yeah, I mean, people were, chips were getting stolen. People were going through the cards and stealing shit. I mean, it happened like that.
Yep.
You know,
100%.
And Moderna stock just skyrocketed, man.
Oh yeah, big surprise.
I know, big surprise there. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know, man. People are wondering, like, okay, if we believe in lab leak, why the hell were they working on coronaviruses to begin with? And why is it that Moderna patented essentially a piece of the coronavirus before it came out?
Yeah, man, that's fucking
that, crazy. Come on, man.
Just to get back to that concept is fucking nuts.
And then let's just say they get away with it. Let's just say, okay, it just gets swept under the rug, because we're talking about Russia. All of a sudden,
didn't they already get away with it?
They did, but what if it's not investigated and it's just, hey, man, this is a new business model. We'll just create viruses and then come up with the vaccines and then pay the government shit tons loads of money so that we can make people take our vaccines.
Here's dude. You know what? Let me bust out an analogy real quick. Here's like, hey, you know what'd be dope right now? Water, right? You need it to exist, right? The whole H2O you can't really live without it if you're a fucking biological species. You know what? But you know who owns it? Oh yeah, the government. And we decide how much we want to charge you for it. Like on Total Recall. Air.
Oh yeah.
Remember the fucking the state controls the fucking air supply.
Dude.
So it's like, which would absolutely happen if colonization happened on Mars. Make no mistake about it.
Oh fuck.
So at what point is it like? I mean, it's one step removed from them doing that. Be like, you do want water, do you? Oh, okay. Well, that's just gonna have to be,
it's like it happened like that already. People were hey, so you want to make a living,
huh? You're gonna die.
You gotta feed your family. You gotta take this drug now. You gotta inject yourself with this shit. You're like, I don't want to inject myself with that shit. Well, you look at little Jimmy. He's gonna starve if you don't do anything. You want to be homeless?
Yeah, you want to die?
Jimmy. Yeah, you want to die? You want to be homeless?
You want to go home?
You want to go with someone who is vaccinated?
Oh boy.
You want to go home or you want to die?
Oh boy. You want your wife to fuck someone that's vaccinated so he can bring home the money? I mean,
exactly.
That's really,
that's what they tell you, man.
We're going to, but so just referencing back to your article, because this one, and for anyone's looking, this was on the Daily Mail, which is actually is pretty interesting. But one of the big things they brought out was that most scientists are looking at the focal point, which is known as the furin cleavage site, which is something that's completely foreign to all the other, because there's other SARS, right? Yeah. Other than COVID. So this particular COVID, what we've been dealing with, has this particular furin cleavage site, which is part of that was patented. The actual concept that was patented by Moderna at some point, right back in 2016. So that's why everyone wonders where this came from, because no one knew how this particular cleavage attached itself to this virus. So it's kind of crazy, because if you think about it, the building blocks were built by us. Right. And Moderna may have even that's kind of where the article leads into, is that we built the building blocks for that attachment site, and through mutation. when we were fucking with them, and for anyone who doesn't know, that doesn't listen, I mean, this shit was 100% lab created. I mean, we're now discovering patents, the Wuhan lab. This is what happened.
And notice too how press articles are coming out now. They're like, oh, it was created in the market. Like they're trying to throw that back out there again.
Yeah.
Oh, very timely.
Yep.
Just like it's very timely. The shit that now that Russia invades Ukraine, not to bring it back to that, but shit that comes out,
of course.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Course. I mean, it's messed up,
just
man.
Like,
it's
just like
that's why.
Just like here. Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna show for a little bit. This is why we skip the noise of the Ukraine war, bring it back to news that really matters.
Well,
Ukraine
war kind of matters.
Nah, dude. I mean, you kind of just cemented it that Russia's not as powerful. It suck.
Not as powerful. They sucked it.
It's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
But the problem is that we still need to be worried because guess what? In reality, we still need to have a stable Western and Eastern Europe for business at the very least. But we can deal with that later. But I think the next thing we're kind of taking a look at real quick, guys, was the new Texas trans law. So there's a new law going on,
my
right?
God.
I think the way that they phrased it was "don't say gay" law. Is this something like this is also happening in Florida too? Where, and I don't have the full angle on it. So if one of you guys want to jump in and discuss it, what's going on with this new Texas trans law, Rick?
All right,
so I guarantee it came from your party, 100%.
Yeah, it kind of did. And this is why I take issue with it, because essentially, it's a law geared towards trans children,
right?
Okay. And so the aim of the law, the spirit of the law, was to prevent children from transitioning from
that's a thing
to the opposite sex
right.
At a young age. Okay. Right. The idea being behind is that adults were coercing them, convincing them to do this, or even forcing them. Okay. Right. And so that's where the spirit of the law came in. Where I think Abbott went wrong was that he was going to sick, Child Protective Services. Well, he encouraged citizens to report this kind of behavior, to report adults. Yeah. And report it to CPS, Child Protective Services. And that's the problem I've got, because there's ways to go about this without having to sick the law enforcement on people right off the bat.
Which is more state control.
Yeah.
And it opens up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I was going to say because ultimately, gender dysphoria is a recognized diagnosis, and that should be made between the patient and the doctor. So having Abbott intervene in this process is not good. You got the state controlling now your medical decisions now. But I do think that there should be some sort of safeguards in place so that children are not forced or coerced or convinced to do this against their will, because they may not like it in the future. They may want to transition back. They may regret it. I mean, they're fucking 11 and 12-year-olds, So anyway, I don't know. I disagree wholly with bringing law enforcement into the picture. I think if you get maybe multiple checks from multiple doctors, or I don't know, there's other ways to do this to make sure that this kid is not being coerced into it.
And I think that, I think that too, it opens up a Pandora's box when it gets to encouraging other people to report other parents and other or the situation with whatever kid it may be. You start sort of a frenzy, right? And people are going to be reporting things, and it's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources, because you've encouraged, once again, all my criticism for Abbott is always centered on, it's all a fucking political move to align yourself even tougher with to out, like him and DeSantis, dude, like out Trump each other and cast, or to align themselves into that lane whenever they try to make their ill attempt at a White House bid. But anyway, that being said, too, the other problem I have with just the concept in general for, misgendering kids and all this shit. It's like, there's a spectrum of ways that either sex, whether you're born a male or a female, right? Within that, there's a spectrum of how people act and behave, or, where they fall along the I guess the gender spectrum, whether it be, say you're a male, right? You're a biological male, but you behave and act and identify more feminine, okay? Which is fine. People are all different, right? Just like there's it's weird because there's the accepted, so like a homosexual male, right? The stereotypical one at that, right? In a business world, let's say certain professions, it's very accepted for, let's just say like an interior designer, right? To be kind of a stereotypical effeminate homosexual male. But that's like a lane, like that's an accepted sort of profile for an individual.
Yeah.
Like nobody's going to bat an eye, right, at a fashion designer who's a homosexual male and has more effeminate traits, in the way he speaks, the way he projects himself, the way he dresses, behaves, all that stuff. Like that's a thing. But it's like, so in other words, I get sort of upset when young people are encouraged to, well, I feel a certain way, right? I was born a male, but I feel more female. I'm blah, 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 blah. I'm in the wrong body, right? I need to make medical, physical, surgical alterations to my fucking anatomy to be how I want to be. To me, that's where it starts to get fucked up, because it's like, hey, wait a minute. Maybe you're cool. Maybe however you're feeling, you were born in a male body. Maybe it's okay to feel the fucking way you feel. Maybe you can express that without fucking having somebody put you under anesthesia and start mutilating your anatomy.
Or blocking your hormones. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like that's where I get fucked up for me. Because it's like, it's how you feel and how you interact with the world as a person based on how you were born. You feel like you want to change that. How about let's let however people feel and act and behave, act how they want to fucking behave, regardless of how they're fucking born.
Yeah,
Does that make sense, man?
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, why change it up? You're unique as an individual, the way you are.
Yeah, and I get that there's pressures, but like I think that should be the goal, is to making whoever the individual is
comfortable.
Yeah, except oh well, let's put them under the knife and we'll actually make or hormone or medication, right? That's going to definitely kind of fuck with them psychologically, right? Because whatever vessel they were born into, their soul entered their, as a fetus, and they grew and they came out of their mother, and they're existing in the world as with all these sort of physical things that they're born genetically into, but yet they're gonna fuck with those with injections and things, which I think is gonna harm them even more.
Well, I mean, it's just to interject.
Maybe. I don't know. It's just it's kind of a brain exercise.
Yeah,
right?
and just to interject, I think the spirit of the law is the problem, right? I mean, just as we kept kind of talking about the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law is just harmful. It's just for political kudos. It's just it's just let me see who can outdick DeSantis, and either that or I'm going to be on the ticket for 24 with DeSantis. I mean, that's really what we're looking at right now. It's Abbott and DeSantis, running on the same ticket.
Here's the problem I've got. Okay, I like Texas being red. Okay, I like the economic. I like it being red.
I prefer the purple. I liked it better when Ann Richards and there was a good balance. That was a good Texas.
Well, anyway, sure. I don't, whatever. But anyway, I like the way it is now. The thing is that the pendulum swings the other way always. Okay, and if you go too far to the right, that thing's going to swing too far to the left in the not too long future. Okay, and I don't like that. I don't like it when Abbott comes up with this horse shit about putting CPS on people. Okay, because that you're going too far to the right there, man. I need you to come a little bit to the center so that when that pendulum swings, it doesn't go too far to the left. You know,
Right. But he can't do that though.
I need you to make rational laws that are pertain to the population that you serve. Like none of that is being thought of. That's my issue with this whole, even the fucking, if you blow it up bigger to the United States, is identity politics has led us into a situation where we don't even effectively govern our fucking people.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
of whatever population you serve. You're fucking trying to.
I hate to break this to you, ladies and gentlemen, but the reality is like he is appeasing his people.
No,
these are the people that keep these are the people that keep voting him in.
No, he's appeasing the people. He's appeasing the people that are going to vote for him in the primaries. That's what he's doing.
Going to vote for him, bro. There's the people. See, that's the problem. Is that the Republicans are still going to vote for him. He's already gone super far. He did the abortion bill. Now he wants to do the trans. Against trans. It's just he's allowing the toxicity of these extreme ideals into the Republican Party. He's making it part of the culture, and there's a lot of people that are backing him, especially the evangelical churches, and that's a lot of Texas. See, that's the problem, is when you give in too much one way, it doesn't always swing back the other way. People become emboldened, aka you look at Germany, you look at situations like that.
California,
right? Exactly. California. What
Jesus.
happens, right? You swing too far one way, it never swings back. There's no balance, which is why this Texas is not the Texas I grew up in.
California is the example.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
well, I mean, you're right.
Oh my God.
But we're gonna become the parody of the other way.
Maybe.
So we're gonna be just as dumb as they
can see
are,
that.
just with right-wing conservatism, right? Because I think we're making conservatives in this state more conservative.
We are,
which is,
but I still
gross and just toxic in this whole situation. So, in regards to this particular law, if you look at it, it's just immoral. It's just dumb. It makes no sense.
The money is going to end up dictating. Go ahead, Rick.
No, I was just going to say, I just wish you would have kept law enforcement out and put in more medical professionals into the fray, you know.
But what does the governor of Texas have to do with the medical decision anyways?
Well, you know, if his concern was that kids are being coerced into this lifestyle that maybe requires second opinions.
Okay, so is he going to get rid of churches? Is he going to get rid of all these other things that coerce individuals and young people to do detrimental things to their lives?
Maybe. Maybe he should get rid of Jesus camp for gay people.
But he's not doing anything in this though. He's
that
not,
would be good. I mean, I agree with that.
Oh boy, no.
Jesus camp. Why not?
No. Yeah, get rid of Jesus camp. Get rid of churches. Right? Churches coerce young people to do stupid things. There's people that don't have sex until they're married. There's people that don't have sex until they're married, and then after that realize, and then they bang like 55 other chicks after they get married because they never had the chance to explore their lives, or end up suppressing some latent homosexuality later on in life because the church told them it was wrong. Dude, but we do. So if you're talking about coercing or influencing the youth, a lot fucking more than just a couple of transgender doctors out there that are supposedly pushing their agenda. You have a whole system that propagates like a lot of fucking religious bullshit to keep these mega churches open and to keep brainless niptars dropping cash in the fucking coffers every Sunday.
Okay, but none of them require you to inject, hormone blocking medications. Yeah,
really.
I'm positive. No one's
really, because
you don't go to church and Joel Osteen doesn't make you inject testosterone into your body, does he? No,
yeah, but he doesn't let you use birth control. He doesn't let you use these evangelical churches. Don't believe in birth control. There's some churches that don't believe in blood transfusions. There's some churs that don't believe. There's some churches that are also pushing don't do vaccines. Which that is what it is. But they're still doing that.
Yeah, but see,
they're still
they're telling you not to put something into your body, and these other people are telling you to put something in your body.
Well, no,
put some Lupron in your body. Come on, this just block those hormones right now.
dude. And I'm right. And like, I'm not arguing the point that whether I think that's right or wrong, especially for children. I mean, that's a different game, right? But that's a common sense thing. But what he's doing though is it's just emboldening the fact that if you're looking at other things, we're corrupting our youth with real stupidity also right now. Everything from education to everything. So when we look at this 1 point coercing in such a small population, that's what I'm telling you. It just doesn't, this whole thing's stupid, man. It just doesn't make any sense. And it's just another move that you look at. It's just for national headlines. Abbott's a horrible governor, period. And this last 6 months, he's gotten progressively, it's kind of funny I use the word progressively in this one. He's gotten progressively worse.
Clever.
I do my best.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's gotten pretty bad. He's swinging way too much to the right, and he's bringing CPS. All the CPS, man, fuck, man, that's a whole other show.
Yeah, I could do a whole fucking show on those crazy motherfuckers. But yeah, I think we're gonna take a little breaky poo, right? I think we're gonna. Everyone needs to take a little pee pee, maybe a poo poo, maybe maybe paint something. You know, maybe not. Maybe do your annual breast exam or your testicle exam. You know, just make sure everything's going okay up and down.
I appreciate that because that's normally what I do.
A little rubby rub.
Take a little break. I do a little testicle check. Yeah. Never can be,
just
never
grab
can
one
be
and
too careful.
Shake it real hard. Make sure everything's okay. I mean, I mean that's what I do. But with that, who we leading out to?
Let's go. You know what? Let's throw my boy Jeremy Masters a bone.
Nice.
We'll put him on the interlude duties for this here episode fucking 90. 90.
10 from the 100.
90, guys. We are 10 away from 100 fucking episodes.
Yeah. And we're asking for 100 dick pics for Ben. 100 dick pics.
Don't need them, man. Like I said, if you're gonna do that, I don't want you to, but if you're gonna, at least let's wait till the summer. Let's give me a little time to get ready for that idea. Yeah, make them. Yeah, I'll tell you what. They better
they're gonna send you sweaty dick pics. That's horrible. Man, that's even worse.
If they're gonna send them, they better fucking impress. I'll tell you that much. I don't want to see no fucking bullshit. But either way, let's hit this break. Let's come out on the other side, better men. Hopefully,
we'll see.
However doubtful. We'll see about that. But anyway, enjoy the tunes and we'll see you very shortly. Thank you. And we're back. Party in the back underway. Fuck yeah. So one of the things that we've pointed out recently is how the increasing violent crime rate here in our own, well, at least Rick and I's Harris County or the greater Houston area.
Yeah, we just have more hate crimes here.
Y'all have more hate crimes up there in the
we're the hate crime capital
of the hate world. Crime capital of the world, maybe. Texas, sure. Definitely.
No, the world.
But
the world.
Probably will. But anyway, I just want to read. So a recent article we had, and this isn't funny because people died because of this piece of shit. But so the headline reads, and this is from our local KPRC, Houston News, Channel 2. Houston man accused of shooting restaurant workers over barbecue sauce. So right away, if Texas could happen, that's what that means. So A man accused of shooting at restaurant workers over barbecue sauce is now being held in jail with no bond. Investigators say 36-year-old Andre Thomas became infuriated over a takeout order. Thomas is now facing 2 charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and burglar of habitation. Fuck, that's quite a night at the barbecue. It's certainly bizarre, Jill Wells with the Harris County District Attorney's Office said. The DA is even perplexed by this motherfucker. And that's a fucking Harris County DA. They've seen some shit. Wells says it all started at the Dickey's Barbecue Pit on Shady Drive, go figure, in Northeast Harris County, which is rough. Back in January, prosecutor said Thomas picked up his order and then left. Then he calls the restaurant angry and upset because they did not give him enough barbecue sauce in his to-go order. Wells said, enough barbecue sauce, mind you. Like they obviously gave him some. He didn't get enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
I mean, I wonder if the barbecue was too dry.
Maybe.
God damn. They overcooked that shit.
You know what's really kind of frustrating about this too? If you know Texas barbecue, you know that real Texas barbecue, it's not really the sauce, isn't the shit. Mm-hmm. Like you could actually eat like Texas barbecue if you're not like, we take it pretty fucking serious down here. We take it so serious that sauce is kind of like, like if you're really doing it right, in other words, fuck the sauce. Mm-hmm. It's about how you it's about how you spice and smoke the meat. Like that's how serious we take the smoking. And like like there's other, and not to shit on whatever Texas, come on, Texas people in the fucking other parts of the world know about Texas barbecue. Do they know about the sweet North Carolina barbecue sauce? Maybe, probably not.
Or Tennessee barbecue? No one talks about barbecue.
Nobody gives a fuck about it. Even though it's good, I get it. It is good.
Yeah.
But internationally, you think in China they know about this? China, they do know about Texas barbecue. I bet you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I bet your ass.
For
there's
fucking
in Beijing.
Sure.
I bet your ass in Beijing. There's a barbecue restaurant called Texas fucking barbecue,
and they got a big fucking hat on the top of the sign.
Somebody looked that shit up. I guarantee you it exists. And they have a big hat with somebody riding a fucking horse. Okay. So that's my point. So workers tried resolving the problem, but Thomas was unhappy and went back to the establishment. I mean, this is so fucking sad because this is fucked up, but like, God damn, this is ridiculous. Now he's verbally threatened them saying, I'll come back and shoot up the place. Wells said, mind you, on a previous episode 2, my particular job that I chose for myself, it's not the easiest way to make a fucking living for the money I make. It's a decent living, mind you, but I feel this guy's pain. I've definitely, or the workers there, because I've mentioned this on the show, like I said, or maybe it was somebody on another show. Maybe it was a guest spot. I've had my life threatened on the job. Let's just say that. We waited for them to leave. Well said. He was by some nearby gas pumps waiting for them to leave. Sketchy at best. Investigators say Thomas followed the workers down the road and fired shots into the car. Fuck my life, dude. Stalking somebody and shooting them because they didn't put enough fucking barbecue sauce in here. Enough. Yeah. Like he got some, that implies that he got some barbecue sauce, dude.
What I'm trying to figure out,
they didn't fucking omit the barbecue sauce from his fucking order.
Jesus Christ.
God damn it, dude. Go ahead, Rick. Please.
I was gonna say, first off, like it's like when you go to Chick-fil-A and they forget to put the ketchup in there.
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks, but you're not gonna go and stalk the employees.
Apparently, you are in this situation.
But,
Jesus.
But this guy, dude, I mean, how did shit go down in the restaurant? Can they just give him more barbecue sauce, or were they like, "I'm sorry, sir, you're only limited to 2 barbecue sauces because we're dicks,"
Right?
Because what prompted this guy to wait at a gas station and just stalk out the employees, dude? Like,
dude.
What transpired, when he came back to claim this barbecue sauce? I don't get that,
bro. There has to be more, right? There has to be more to the story. Like something just doesn't sound fucking right. Like it's like, okay, don't get me wrong. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like, fuck, he at least put some barbecue sauce on the sandwich, right?
He didn't put enough.
It's like yo, motherfucker, you didn't put enough. It's like, what?
I said,
come on,
extra
bro.
Sauce. God
extra
damn
sauce,
it.
bitch. And then just blood clots. And it's just like, what the fuck, bro? Like, really?
The regular response would be like, oh, okay, sir, here's barbecue sauce. Have a great day. Is this enough for you? You want more? Okay, here's some more. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yeah,
boom, it's over.
Oh, exactly. You want some more? No, man, you're being a fucking bitch. Fuck that. We already gave you whatever we gave you. That's it. That's all you get. You get 3. That's per company fucking protocol. Bro. We don't exceed 3 packets, man.
And that's what happens in the Northwest side. We got employees like that in Northwest County.
That was Northeast.
Oh, Northeast.
Which is even
worse.
Yeah, it is worse.
Yeah, it's a whole nother shit.
I know about that shit.
That's some real shit.
Well, hey, you know what? Now that I know where it's at, I'm gonna have to say, motherfuckers should have put enough barbecue sauce because you don't do that.
You really should have.
You don't do that shit where we're from.
No, moral of the story: throw a couple extra fucking packets.
Hey, think what someone wants, add a little more. But like, but this is just that senseless shit, right? I mean, you see this weird senseless shit where people, would you say it's entitlement? How people just blow their
fucking illness, dude.
Yeah, well, it's just people just lose their shit when they don't get exactly what they want. You know, like an election, they fucking burn down a Capitol. You know, the fucking like, you know, the you know, shit like that. Like, are people just that fucking entitled? Or are they just that psychologically fragile?
This guy had 5 felonies, man. He had 5 bonds.
Right.
5 existing bonds.
So that
who's paying for these fucking bonds?
Well, hold on. Let's
probably La Raza or something. I don't know.
Raza, maybe. I don't think so, bro. I don't think this
BLM, La Raza. You take your pick, man. Kamala Harris.
This is
what the fuck they pay for these bonds, man.
That's a fucking college student group. They're not paying people's bonds.
So here he goes. He strikes one of the complaint victims 5 times, breaking a bone in their arm. She said the other victim, thank goodness, was not shot. So that is good. So
at least that one wasn't shot.
Man, really?
Thomas's aggression.
Here it is. Here's where Rick was talking about. Thomas is a felon who was already out on bond and facing 5 other felony bonds at the time of the shooting. Now, mind you, I posted something, and I think hopefully we bring it up on the show. I think in a previous episode, about how many. I don't think we did. I posted it, but I don't think we got to cover it last couple episodes about right now in Harris County, how many fucking felons are like sitting 300 there just waiting. Yeah, it's just like a backlog. So they can't get to everybody. So this speaks to that. Thomas is a felon already on bond, facing 5 other felonies at the time of the shooting. Now he's back in the jail, all because of barbecue sauce. In this case, the judge
shot somebody.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
The crime wasn't solely the lack of barbecue sauce.
Right.
It also had to do with the fact that he did shoot someone.
Yeah. There was some other things involved besides the barbecue.
Some people did some things.
So there was a little bit of action around.
One thing led to another.
But the barbecue sauce. That's why he's in there.
But mainly the barbecue sauce he used was made in New York City, which is really another felony count in Texas.
For sure. And Dickie's barbecue sauce, hey, you know what? Maybe throw a couple extra packets in whenever you do to go. Anyway.
You know what? I'd be honest with you.
For future reference.
Chime in. Fucking Dickie's, they are cheap with their fucking barbecue sauce. I think that's actually, I've actually, now that I've thought about it, the couple of times I've eaten from Dickie's barbecue, while expensive as shit for a couple of pieces of greasy meat, in the end, they don't really hook you up with a lot of barbecue sauce. They give you like one of those little cups. You know what? The more and more I'm hearing this, I'm pretty sure that this was felony worthy.
Thomas,
I get into this, but no, seriously,
Thomas is a martyr in this.
He might be. He might be the Dickie's barbecue sauce martyr.
He finally snapped, dude. He's been going there for years, and he's like, God damn it!
I said 2 cups.
One more time.
2 cups.
Fucking 2.
But
That's sad.
I mean, I've never seen Dickies here inside the loop. Is that a Northeast Harris County thing?
Yeah, I think it's more of a well, no, Dickies is and it's out here too. It's a chain. It's a chain of barbecue joints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so imagine it's like fast food barbecue.
Oh, dude,
So,
you know what I miss?
What?
Bill Miller's barbecue.
Yeah,
I love that shit, dude. That was so good.
I was good.
Anyway,
God damn, you know what I miss? Houston. Fucking miss the whole fucking city.
You don't miss
Oh,
Houston,
trust
man.
me.
No,
even with the
it's
violence. Even with the
fucked up,
violence.
man.
Whatever.
You'll
Dude.
take
hate
it.
this
You'll take the
place.
violence.
Yeah, I mean nooses I see out here every day. Like every day I'm cleaning a new
Yeah,
one
but
off
you know,
the
they're not
fucking-
around your neck, so you're fine. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
because I'm quick. I'm fast. And I don't go outside after dark. But no, seriously, I think there's just that this violence, this crazy sense of like entitlement. I think that's really what it is. Everybody is so fragile, dude. Everybody.
Yeah.
So even if anything from barbecue sauce to some chick says that you're fat, I mean, and this just happened. There was another murder suicide in Sacramento in a church.
Yeah.
I just think people just are fucking really fragile mentally, man, and entitled. And when shit goes wrong, they want to make everyone pay for it.
Yeah, man. Well, it's worth note too that Thomas had back to the article. We're about to wrap it up here. So Thomas had a previous criminal history. I mean, I think we probably figured that's probably the case.
No.
That would stand to reason, I think. Thomas had a previous criminal history dating back to 2009 that includes retaliation, harassment, felon in possession of a weapon, assault of a peace officer, and assault on a family member. A fucking family member. His arraignment set for February 28th, and a bond hearing will be held in April.
Oh
February
shit,
28th.
that's today.
That's today.
No,
so he
that's
did have
yesterday.
his
Yeah, that was now.
yeah, if you're
officially.
listening to this, it was yesterday, but yeah, that's actually today. So Jesus, Thomas.
I'm glad I wasn't at that bond hearing.
I feel like that's a pattern of behavior. So I don't think if it was barbecue sauce, if it was fucking Cane's ketchup mayonnaise concoction, if it was Chick-fil-A sauce or fucking Polynesian
A
sauce,
special sauce.
this dude
Tits,
was gonna
bro.
end up back in fucking jail at some point. So
Dude.
that stands the question.
He's like
yeah,
the
the
lunch
guy's not-
line rebel.
He's a
Dude.
yeah, dude. He was headed
Fuck.
for this pathway, I feel like, at some point. But nonetheless, though, why the fuck was he out? That's the biggest question, right?
Well, that's
kind of
COVID,
the
though,
focal
right?
point of the story. Yeah, no.
I mean,
you're
it's
right.
COVID, right? They can't process all these felony warrants and bonds
Nope.
and shit. And to be honest with you, they're not given the resources to do so.
Mhm.
I mean,
I
to
getting
try to
strained.
catch up a backlog of a year of fucking felonies in Houston. I mean, fuck.
They'll never catch up.
No, you would need you would need federal help. Like instead of like sending the National Guard to teach schools, they should send the National Guard to help process fucking bonds and shit, right? I mean,
And you know what's scary about this? That's
Huh.
like New Orleans in the 90s and early 2000s.
That was bad.
That's what was going on there, is like they couldn't
Mhm.
support. They had what they call the 30-day murder.
Yep.
And I remember the only reason I know this is because back in 2005 when Katrina hit,
Yep.
and we were hit. The Houston area was hit with an influx of 100,000 plus, people coming from the New Orleans
From
area
the boot.
from the boot. You were hearing about law enforcement officers and stuff saying that they were catching these criminals that had come from the Katrina wave from New Orleans that were, they're being held on fucking shootings and murders, and they're like, oh yeah, like saying in passing, like, yeah, whenever I get out next month or whatever. Oh no, you're in a different, like, this is different now.
Yeah, I
Like,
forgot
they had
what
the
law
30
they
day
have. They have a
'cause in
different
New
law
Orleans-
set over there.
At the time, it was like they were, I think it was because they were so backlogged that it's like if they held you for 30 days and they weren't able to get the trial started or blah blah whatever it was, they just like put them back out, like, okay, I guess fuck it, we can't afford to keep all these people in the system. They would just release them out if nothing had happened at that point. So they were saying, like, the Harris County jail was saying all these guys were coming in, they're like, oh wait, no, you don't understand, like, you're actually not going anywhere for the next 30 fucking years. This is Texas, motherfuckers. Like, it's a whole different shit.
Yeah, we get paid for every one of y'all.
Yeah, no, exactly. We get some money for every one of you. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that's what's scary is that shows the state of things, right? When these type of people, and that's why that case sort of came to light and was newsworthy. Well, also because it was fucking over some barbecue sauce.
Man, barbecue sauce. What is going on? What is going on? But I think with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, we're gonna wrap our order up. Hope we gave you guys enough barbecue sauce. Hopefully, we'll not be stalking us, taking us down.
I threw a couple extra packets in there.
But if you like to leave complaints, let us know. Where can they find us at, B?
They can find us. Yeah, if you have any complaints about how many packets of barbecue sauce or how many little half pint containers we put in your order, you can hit us up on Twitter at Skip the Noise PO1. You can also obviously find us on Instagram, skip_the_noise_podcast. You can also find us on the emails. You can email me at skipthenoisepodcast@gmail.com. All that good shit.
Dick pics.
Skip the Noise on Snapchat if you want to see the interactions of one yours truly. It's not very much interesting shit on that one, honestly, but hey, it is something else if you want the inside scoop on Skip the Noise.
You want the full media experience.
You go ahead and do that. I don't utilize it a whole hell of a lot, but hey, why not? But anyway, other than that, subscribe on all our fucking platforms. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends' friends. Share it with your friend's mom. Okay? You can do that as well. Shout us out, man. Wherever you listen to your podcast, leave us a review.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it. Leave us a review. It's a 5-star review. If we satisfied your audio needs for your fucking brain on a weekly basis, leave a fucking review, man. That really helps us out. That gets us noticed. That gets more people listening. Don't you want more people to listen to Skip the Noise so that you have more people to talk about it with? I know you do. Yeah. I know the people that do enjoy the show like to talk to us about it. So wouldn't that be nice to meet other people in a little community that you can all enjoy Skip the Noise in a nice little happy family? So let more people know about it. Stop being so fucking selfish. Share it with other fucking people. You know?
This fucking guy.
Yeah, all right. Man. I mean, if you got a bucket list, I would highly suggest you approach that with a sense of urgency, the way things are going now. But that being said, keep it real, represent, right, Ben?
Yes, sir. You motherfuckers keep it real and represent. Peace.
See you next week. Peace.